okay, genuinely not used to having my hair up, but I just came from a walk with the puppy and I'm a little, you can already see, I'm a little hot. Here's the fit, super cute. We are so into, what is this doing? We are super into spooky season. Like, by we, I mean definitely me, also hubby, but like who the heck isn't, honestly? Because let's be honest, I can't think of a better season. Don't get me wrong, we love summer. Summer is my birthday season, 100%. That's when we travel the most normally. I mean, we love summer. But there's nothing quite like spooky season. And I am here for it, but that's not what this episode is about. But I just wanted to explain why in September I am super into my spooky fits. So get ready. You're going to get sick of it because I live for it. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about how we ate in Sicily, like kind of the diet that I pretty much had throughout Sicily. And everyone was like, well, obviously you're going to gain 10 pounds because you're going to eat pasta and bread and wine and cheese and all these incredible deli meats and, Nutella, of course, breadsticks, pizza. I mean, I could go on. The thing is, I did not gain any weight. I didn't lose any weight, but I did not gain any. I was able to maintain. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I continued doing my lifestyle, but I am not going to lie to you when I say, yeah, I had a lot more pasta than I normally do. I definitely had more pizza than I normally do, more bread than I normally do, because if you're going to eat those things, you should eat it where it is best. It is not amazing to have pizza or bread or pasta in America, generally speaking, but when you have it in Sicily, in Italy, yes, but in Sicily, it's the best in the world. It is the best in the world. Not only that, but the way it's processed is different. The standards for food are different in Europe versus in the States. I know we have high standards here, but it's just processed different. And in my experience, it's healthier in Europe. So I am not afraid to partake in more grains in Europe versus especially Italy, Sicily, versus say the States, because in the States it's big corporations and a lot of times they cut corners and the way they process things tend to be more geared toward being cheaper versus healthier. Whereas in Italy, they like to stick to tradition and the old way of doing things, and that tends to be the healthier way of doing things, more organic. And when I live in the villa, in Mom's villa, there are no pesticides on anything. In fact, in Europe in general, there's a lot of rules against certain pesticides and certain things that you can use on your crops there. So the standards are very different, and in my experience, healthier in Europe. So as to what we were eating, I would always start my morning with my matcha because that is very important to me. So I wanted to continue to maintain my lifestyle of having my matcha and my collagen. But I also, something that I cannot get anywhere else there's nowhere better than on Mom's Villa are her black and white figs. They are the greatest fruit that exists. They are absolutely delicious and they are everything you could ever want. High in fiber, they're sweet like candy. They keep you regular. They are everything that, they have so many vitamins in them. They're just so incredibly good for you. So I also started my mornings with a bunch of figs that we would pick, and generally after that we would have lunch. Now lunch mostly consisted of a beautiful salad that my mom would make, some kind of protein. Sometimes it was fish, a lot of times it was some kind of it could be chicken or pork, something like that. The way that Italians have their meat is generally sliced very thin, and they don't really put a lot of salt on things. You have to kind of season the things yourself. And they also eat different types of meat. So there's rabbit and there's horse, which is equine. And I didn't partake in any of those animals, but I don't really eat a lot of animals in general. I do eat chicken, although I don't want to. I also eat salmon, but it's my way of getting protein. But yeah, I'm not crazy about eating a lot of meat, so I don't tend to eat meat even when it's being offered. There was also an incredibly delicious sausage that Italians make. It tastes very much like a juicy breakfast sausage, but it's just like, that's their sweet Italian sausage. It's very good. So a lot of that was like their protein, that sort of thing. Now, what was really interesting, and the lunch would kind of be more of a dinner, but at the same time, we also wouldn't eat dinner until like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, because that's when Italians eat dinner, which really hurts your fasting. You know, if you tend to want to stop eating at 6, but dinner's not until 9:30 or 10, like it's a challenge. But it wasn't crazy. Generally, dinner was something very light. I stuck with a lot of fruits. If there was any vegetables that we had left over, grilled, bell peppers. Oh my God, grilled bell peppers and grilled onions, so good. And then of course we had our meats and our fresh bread, the mortadella, the prosciutto, fresh ricotta, and pecorino, like all these incredibly delicious, fresh foods, but not necessarily good for you, but definitely better for you if you have it in Italy, because the process, like I said, is very different. Even the way they process the flour for the bread, very different. So yummy. So good. But here's the interesting thing. I learned a lot actually about different parts of the salad, and that's because I eat a lot of salad. Now, salad isn't very popular necessarily in Italy. It's hard to find on menus. Like sometimes they'll have a green salad, which is really just lettuce. Sometimes they'll have a mixed salad, which is tomatoes and lettuce and maybe onions. But when it comes to like the salads that we're used to here, that's the extent of their salads. That's very, very limited. But Mom, she makes lots of salads all the time. And she also likes to use things that are local, and if it's cheaper, she'll pick it up and she'll just add it to the salad. So one of the things that I am not crazy about in salads is radicchio. So radicchio is this purple, reddish, like lettuce sort of green, right? And it's very bitter. It's very bitter. I am not crazy about it. In fact, for a long time, I would just like eat around it or pick it out. Like I just didn't eat it. And Mom wouldn't put it in. I'm like, just put it in. It's fine. I'll just eat around it, or I'll give it to someone, Sean, or if you want it, you can have it. But I'm not crazy about it. So one day while we were eating, I was like, you know what? Why do we eat radicchio? Like what are the health benefits of radicchio? And the answer actually really surprised me. So I want to share that information with you too. There are so many that I actually had to look it up again, because there's no way I could remember all the things that radicchio is actually good for. So some of the things that when Dad looked it up, I was like blown away. So radicchio is very high in vitamin K, which is very good for heart health. It contains a lot of antioxidants, cyanins, which help with the overall cardiovascular system. So it makes your heart and your veins stronger. It also helps with bone health because it also contains a good amount of calcium. It has calcium, iron, and again, vitamin K helps with the bone health. It helps with metabolism and strength. Of course, we all know this to be true when it comes to leafy greens. It's very healthy for your digestive system. And it has a type of fiber in it that acts as a prebiotic, which can help stimulate the growth of beneficial bacteria in your intestine, which again, keeps you regular, keeps your whole body healthy. And it also has, because of the high fiber, it helps with blood sugar as well. And then it's also found to, again, because of this vitamin K, help prevent, or I shouldn't say prevent, it reduces the risk of cancers. So it reduces the risk of colon cancer, prostate cancer, stomach, nasal, and oral cancers. And it's also highly recommended for people with psoriasis, which is that skin, you know, you have itchy skin, the flaking, the dryness, and it also helps reduce inflammation as well. So those were all the things that just Radicchio alone was, you know, beneficial for in terms of health, and I thought that was fascinating. Especially since I didn't like it. So I was like, all right, if I'm going to refuse to eat it, what am I actually giving up? So when I learned all of that, I was like, I feel like I have to eat it now. It's so good for you. So I just think it's interesting. You know, there are things that you might not enjoy, you might not like to eat, but when you learn about the health benefits of it, it's definitely worth continuing and consuming just for the health benefits alone. The other thing my mom likes to put in our salads is another thing that I very much do not like. It is fennel. Fennel tastes like black licorice to me. I do not like it. Again, it's got that bitter sort of taste to it. So once again, I said to my father, I said, can you look up the health benefits of fennel? Why should I consume this? And this actually blew me away more than Radicchio. So fennel, once again, also is very, very good for digestion. It actually helps relieve gas, and eating it after a meal, a lot of people and a lot of cultures will actually do that. There are several reasons for that, not just for the help of digestion, but also because fennel increases the amount of saliva in your mouth, it will help fight bad breath and the deposits of food in your mouth. So in that regard, it also helps a lot to have it after a meal. Remarkably, actually, it helps. It's said to actually help just as much as conventional medicines for period cramps, which I thought was fascinating. Because if you can find something that is natural as opposed to taking like a medication, I think that's really, really cool. I really do believe that food is the ultimate number one thing to fighting any disease that you might have. You should always start with food before turning to any kind of drugs. I remember because when we travel, my guts get all messed up. And I think it's because when we're in the plane and the pressure, and I just get all, it's not good. Like I can't go to the bathroom, my schedule's off, the time zone, the whole nine. And so a lot of people would maybe reach for a laxative because they tend to be backed up because that's the situation. But what I would do instead is I would find prunes or figs, if in Sicily, when in Rome, figs or dates. And I would choose to find things. For me, I like fruits. So I would go towards fruits to find the fiber that I wanted and needed, as opposed to, say, a laxative. I would go the natural route because the benefits far outweigh versus if you were to do a drug. The way the drug works is very different from the way a natural diuretic or full of fibers type of food, fibrous foods, would work. And natural is always the better way to go. Anyway, back to fennel. It's also very good for your heart because it is a good source of fiber, potassium, and folate, which can support the heart health. The other thing is it's also full of vitamin A, C, and E, which is very good for your skin and your skin health. And because those vitamins are contained within fennel, they are supposed to help with wrinkles and any dark spots your skin might have. Fennel is also an antiseptic. It's got antiseptic properties, so it can help remove dirt and bacteria that can cause breakouts. Once again, it also has a lot of anti-cancer effects if you consume it. It also reduces inflammation, and this is the most important part of fennel, in my opinion. For those people who are looking to lose weight, fennel is known to actually suppress your appetite, which means if you are trying to eat less, have a caloric deficit versus what you're burning in a day, the fennel will suppress your appetite so that you can guarantee that you don't eat more than what you intended to eat in the first place, like in terms of calories, which I thought was really interesting and very important because when I was looking up fennel tea and stuff like that, there's nothing that talks about the suppressing of appetite. Mostly they just kind of focus on, your digestion and that sort of thing. But for those people who are trying to lose weight, this is a very important attribute to this vegetable, this leafy green. So if you're looking to lose weight, definitely look into fennel because I did notice actually that after I had salad, with the fennel in it, I wasn't as hungry, and my mom would give me ish, and then when I asked Dad about what the benefits were, that's what he found. So I thought that was super, super interesting and really cool, and I wanted to share that with you. And so yeah, but like I said, I also consumed pizza and bread and mortadella and cheeses. It really, and a lot of gelato. All the gelato. Oh, and the cornetas with the ricotta. I mean, I didn't stop myself from enjoying myself at all. Everything in moderation. The other part of that is we walked and explored many ancient cities almost every single day. So we were constantly on the move. So having those things wasn't so crazy because we were always burning calories anyway. Plus, when it's hot, you burn a lot of calories. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know what we ate and the things that I learned about what we ate. But yeah, so I hope you are having an amazing day. I hope you learned a few things you might not have known about before. And I hope you take into consideration maybe trying these different things, radicchio or fennel. I'm definitely going to try to incorporate more of these things. The trouble with that is it's very expensive to eat healthy in this country, whereas when you live in Sicily, everyone has a farm and you can just go to the farmer's market and it's not quite as expensive. But here it is outrageously expensive. But if it is something that you're interested in doing and seeing the health benefits and exploring those, I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to know if you've ever had fennel before, if you've ever had radicchio, if you like it, and if you want to try it. But anyway, I hope you had an amazing day. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Until next time.